girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm really pleased to be able to bring you, this isn't another AliExpress watch. This is an Accurist London. Recently, they've done a lot of rebranding actually, with sort of trying to reinvigor, should we say, their Accurist brand. They look like they're producing some really good stuff. The only thing I've mentioned to them, because I've spoken to them on Instagram, I've said to them the price is a bit steep for just quartz pieces, essentially. So maybe that's something to look at. I know they give you a nice travel case with it and stuff now, but the prices are not what it used to be. And this is the old school Accurist. This is a watch that was recommended to me actually some time ago by a subscriber. It's always sitting at sort of £130. 110 was the best I saw it for. But my good friend Adrian over at Somewhere in Time said to me, listen, check out GB Watch Shop. They've got a good sale on. So I went over there. Lo and behold, this is on there. He featured it a little while ago. It looks a cracking watch. Sapphire crystal, Pepsi style, solid construction. It looks the business, to be honest. And I could see from his review why someone recommended it to me. What will I make of the watch though? Excuse me, before I move on to, let's get the camera turned around. The model number for this is the 7327. It's the Pepsi style diver. Because a sapphire crystal, look in the business. I picked this up, £55 I paid, £55. Black Friday sale was on as well. I thought it rude not to pick it up for that sort of price. Do you know what I mean? So here it is from GB Watch Shop to me to you. I hope you like the watch, and I hope by the end of the video you know if it's for you or not. I'll leave a link in the description. Hopefully they're still in sale, and hopefully get it for as cheap as possible. But thanks for tuning back in. And with that being said, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. New packaging. I've not had it in one of these before. It's a slightly smaller box. A little cheeky one, little look at there if you want to sort of capitalise on that. I don't know how many it will work for, but just thought I'd leave that in there just for you. Let's take it out. So inside you got the watch. You got a little 2-year guarantee, little cheap card. Taken 2 links out for it to fit my wrist. Push pins, quite easy to size. And just a sort of faux leather pillow that it comes on. And that's it really. That's all you get, but nothing too elaborate, nothing too extravagant. Doesn't need it, because this is what you're here to look at. The watch is really, really nice. I like the blue and the red Pepsi style. So yeah, this is the Accurist 7327. Inside it's running a quartz movement. It's a Miyota 2117. I'll bring some information up about that now. Yeah, it's nice to see they've gone for a reputable quartz movement rather than some sort of obscure one. So yeah, the Citizen Miyota movement inside. And for the price, I think it's a good option. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal and the bezel insert, is all 316L stainless steel. So that's the case, crown, case back, solid end links bracelet, and press clasp, all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of this watch is 12.1 millimeters. The case diameter, I measure from 8 to the 2, excluding the crown, it's 42.8 millimeters, and including the crown when you go from the 9 to the 3, it's coming at 46.2 millimeters. So not a small watch. The lug width is 20, that tapers down to 18 and back up to 20 mil at that press clasp that I spoke about, also signed. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, probably unsurprisingly, quite a bit of length on it. It's 50.7 millimeters, but it has got female end links of the center link, which is nice to see, so it doesn't sort of make it any longer than it needs to be at this point. The case back, as I've already alluded to, I'll turn it around the way so you can read it. It's a screw down case back, just some information on the back there. It's got the caliber 2117 that I've mentioned for the Miyota, model number on there, and also as you can see below the Accurist in the middle, sapphire crystals. So sort of giving the game away, touching upon something I'm going to talk about in a moment. The bezel is 120 click unidirectional. I'll let you listen. Very, very positive, guys. I'm not going to lie. I was very, very impressed when I took this out of the box and started playing with the bezel. I didn't expect it to be quite so rock solid. No bounce, no back play. 120 click lines up perfectly. The only thing I'd say, I'll come to that later, I wasn't massively overwhelmed by the grip. The grip was a little bit difficult to get hold of, but that's another story. The crown is situated at the 3 o'clock, and it's a screw down crown. Let me just undo it now. Nice crown, nice bit of pop from the case. It's got sort of a red line going through the middle, but yeah, good size. Not that you're going to use it as much as you would with an automatic, but it's still there anyway. The bracelet is really nice actually, like a satin brush on the top, polished at the sides as I've already mentioned. It has got push pins and the clasp. It's got a double safety, it's got a latch and two buttons, one either side. And you open it up, as you say, it's pressed. I did mention that before, didn't I? So yeah, we'll just give it a quick wipe, guys. Give me a second. There you go. So yeah, press clasp at this point. The water resistance. Let me just move the crown so you can have a look at it. Yeah, it's 200 meters, so that'll give you 20 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. But I did just omit to tell you it is sapphire crystal again, as you'd have seen on the back of the case. Yeah, sapphire crystal, because I did test it. I didn't expect them to lie, but I did test it anyway. I've been proven wrong in the past. The sapphire crystal, 200 meters, and the weight will appear in the top right hand corner, as I said, 141 grams. With 2 links removed, with those 2 links back in, you're probably looking at about 150 grams, which is a decent bit of heft, probably in and around where it should be, maybe a touch light, but yeah, there you go. Let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So on the rehaut, it hasn't got much AR coat on there, sorry guys, maybe a little, but as you can see on the rehaut, you've got sort of a 24-hour going on there, so you can see what the time is in 24 hours as well. So that's inside that. You've got battens everywhere applied, everywhere except at the 3 o'clock you've got a slightly smaller one making way for the date position. The hands and indices are all high polished, and they are also loom, so I'll bring that up now, give you an idea of what the loom looks like. The loom on this was okay, nothing amazing but nothing bad, probably in and around where I'd expect it to be for the price given what you're getting for the money. So yeah, the loom was okay. As you can see, a nice blue Sunburst dial. Below the indices at the 12, you've got Accurist printed onto the dial, and above the 6, you've got 200 meters also printed onto the dial. You've got a nice red second hand, which has a bit of contrast and also goes along nicely with the bezel, because obviously you've got red on the aluminium bezel insert. The date, as I said, it's going to be a hacking movement given the fact that it's a quartz movement. You take it out, it will hack. You take it out to the first position, you'll be able to scroll through the date. You probably can even take it out a little bit further, just so you can actually see that, excuse me. But yeah, as I say, we take it out to that first position. You scroll through, if I can get the first position, that is. There we go. And it will show you the date moving along to whatever date you want to put it to. And as like I said, when you screw it back up, very, very positive in terms of the time. It wouldn't work now, would it? But yeah, generally, in terms of when I've had to screw it and unscrew it, there's been no issues whatsoever. Quite pronounced crown guards, but it doesn't seem to impede the ability to get at the crown. And yeah, like I said, the high polished hands, indices, nice blue Sunburst dial, decent loom. You got the date at 3 o'clock, and yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it? It looks quite clean and quintessential. Nice dive watch. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist. For your reference, I did take 2 links out for it to fit my wrist. You have still got 3 levels of micro adjustment in there that I've not touched. So yeah, probably got up to wrist sizes, sort of just touching 8 inches. But yeah, down to probably 6, probably I'd say. But that's what it looks like. Nice blue Sunburst, and yeah, lots to like at this point. I picked this up for around £50-ish in the Black Friday sales, which I think is a bit of a robbery. I think I was really, really happy to get this in. This was a watch that was on my radar for quite some time, so to pick it up for that sort of price when I was struggling to get it for £100 for a long time, I was very happy. But that will now take me on to what I think is pants and Pukka about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with Pukka. So what I think is pants, not a lot of things, but the second hand alignment does irritate me. It's off kind of everywhere, so I suppose it's consistent. But that's the one thing I look for on my Quartz pieces, that the second hand lines up. I know it's an inexpensive watch, but it does drive me mad. It does my nut in if it doesn't do that. The bezel grip, as I've already mentioned, it can be quite slippery to grab hold of. You can do it if you really purchase it, but you shouldn't really be able to grip it quite as hard as I am at the moment to sort of turn it. So I'd like a bit more purchase on there, a bit better grip. And the press clasp, for the price, I suppose it's not a deal breaker, especially when you could pick them up on AliExpress for sort of £4 or whatever it is. But that would be a great upgrade if you're going to keep this watch. So yeah, change the clasp. So that's it, guys. That's all I'm going to say. I'll say the second-hand alignment, the bezel grip, and the press clasp are what I think is pants. What I think is Pukka is sapphire crystal. I do say it quite a lot, but I will only say it on watches that I think, in terms of how much they cost, I wasn't expecting it to have sapphire crystal, and that's definitely the case with this. The hands and indices, I like the fact they're sort of a little bit different. You've got arrows obviously at the end of the minute, hour and second. I like the contrast with the red. I like the fact it's high polished, and yeah, a little bit of details on those indices. Yeah, look nice. I like the way they've sort of got faceted edges and stuff. Not sort of just plain and simple. They look pretty cool. The bezel, in terms of the alignment, in terms of the clicks, in terms of no bounce, no back play, yeah, very, very nice bezel, aside from the grip, but everything else is good. The crown's nice, deep etched with the A for Accurist, good size, good engagement. The general look of the watch, I think it looks really cool. A Pepsi style sort of dive watch is always going to be quite sought after. So yeah, that's ticking that box as well. And the price of this, like I said, if you pick this up for less than £100, you've had a winner. To pick it up for 50 quid like I did, it's just pretty astonishing really for what you're getting. So just to summarise what I think is Pukka, as I go with the sapphire crystal, hands and indices, bezel, crown, general look and price are what I think is Pukka. And would I recommend the watch? Wholeheartedly, most definitely I would. I think it's a very, very good option. Thank you, Adrian, for sort of bringing this to my attention in terms of the sale. Like I said, it's a watch that was recommended to me by one of my subscribers a while ago. I've been looking at trying to get it in at a price that I thought I could warrant paying for it, and I finally did it, and I'm happy to have it in. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.